IMHO Talk Show.
Yes. IMHO Talk Show. We told you that we're going to do it for the people. Only like we know how. Tell a friend that there's much more show left. Much more edutainment from yours truly, Queen Max, Brother Razor, or that Rascal Razor. I guess that sounds better. Rascal. But yeah, you know how we do. And that's why we are so glad and delighted that we have yet another staple, another cornerstone of our community that is here with us right now. And we were just joking, as we were coming online, that it's been a minute and we should have had Brother Tez up here much earlier, but he's a businessman doing great work. And so that's why we got him finally, though, because we're going to catch up with all that great work that the brother's doing. But Tez, happy Sunday afternoon to you, man.
Man, it's a beautiful day to be with you beautiful people on this beautiful thing, man.
Love it.
I'm just happy to be here, be a part of this monumental, historical day with you folks, talking about some good stuff in our community and following ex-Chief Brackney. Ooh, wee. I heard a little bit of it coming in. Ooh, wee. You know what I mean?
Show.
That's what it's about, baby.
Big time, man. You're always looking sharp. I would ask you how you doing, but you looking like you're doing good.
Deion Sanders, you look good, you feel good, you play good, baby.
That's right.
My mentor teach me every day is an audition, so show up and be ready to go. So
that's right. Gotta love it, man. So you are national director of client and community engagement for the Fountain Fund.
It's
right?
a lot. I'm just a national director. That's kind of how I cut it. But yes, okay. I'm the national director of client and community engagement at the Fountain Fund. The Fountain Fund is a local nonprofit that started right here in our backyard, Charlottesville, Virginia. Ooh-wee. Awesome. Stand up, Charlottesville, VA.
That's
baby.
Right. Big things.
But now we expanded. We expanded in two different, in 2 years in 4 different markets. So that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. So each year that I've been there as a staffer, it's been always about strategic planning and putting us out there and exposing, the state of Virginia. But when national came, that opportunity is something we just couldn't fumble. That's something we had to take advantage of and leverage and do bigger things, because Charlottesville is a great starting point. It's a great focal point because it started right here. But it's a lot of folks out there who need that access to capital, man. They need that support from folks that did it and been through it. So, it's a bigger market out there. There's a bigger pond out there than it is Charlottesville. So, but this is our cornerstone. This is our flagship. This is where everything started right here. And we are locally right here at the Jefferson School. So check us out. 233 4th Street Northwest. You already know what it is. Charlottesville, Virginia, Jefferson School, Fountain Fund. We here.
That's right.
What states, if I may, Charles, what other states are you all in when you say international or national? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we started right here in Charlottesville. Then we went to Richmond. That was our first one because we wanted to be we wanted to tackle some of our partner cities as well. You can't go wrong with Richmond our way. But when national came right after that, so we went big and we went big to go home, right, Max? So we went to New Orleans first because that population has been hit since Katrina, even before Katrina, and it's still got a lot of issues going on, challenges and barriers. Thanks. Not even folks that's been re-entering, but folks that's been already in the community. So that was our first expansion, and then after that, Philly. Okay. And now Boston. We're in Boston in 2024. So I'm excited about that. I'm about to head out there literally in another month and a half to, finish onboarding. We just hired our site director. Shout out to you, Jay Valor. Check him out on LinkedIn. Check him out in the Boston market, our new site director. So yeah, man. And then we have our first staff retreat in another 2 weeks. So there's a lot of things happening on a rise right now, currently, and upcoming. April is Second Chance Month, which we kind of renamed it as Reentry Month. Giving back to our folks. From the folks that's been there. So there's a lot of happening in our community and all across this great country in April. So check it out if you want to get into some volunteering or do some giving back to the reentry population. Come on out there. We got a lot of things happening this month. We can talk more about it a little bit later if you want to talk about it. But I got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm a part of a lot of other things that's happening. So I'm just excited to be here to talk about it, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate taking time out of your schedule, to see the importance of sharing this news, with us and the listening audience. But let's back it up though a little bit. Yeah. For those who may be like, Fountain Fund, never heard of it, or not familiar with it at all. Break it down for us, give us your stump speech when you selling Fountain Fund to the, to the masses.
Oh yeah. Hey, it's deep, bro. Cause I got all types of different type of spills and elevator pitches. But I'm gonna keep it real. Cause we gonna keep it real and humble here. So
that's right.
It started right here in Charlottesville, but our namesake come from, Fountain Hughes, who was a freed slave here in Virginia.
Okay.
I mean, he got quotes in the Library of Congress. You know, you can look them up. But one of his quotes that we use, every day at the Found Fund is, "He sleep better at night, not on nobody a 0 red cent."
Love it. And
that's what our namesake. So shout out to you, Fountain Hughes, and your ancestors and the legacy that you left behind here, and we taking that and running with it. So yes, it started right here in Charlottesville, Virginia, 2017. Our chairman is Tim Heafy. He was an ex-federal prosecutor here locally, and he had a. Hey Max, you ready to go real with this, right? So I'm gonna go real.
Let's go.
My man Tim Heafy had a humbling experience. Like I said, he was an ex-federal prosecutor. So one day he went to rent a U-Haul right there on Rowell, right there by Putt-Putt, Rowell Hill. Yeah. So, and the guy across from him that was renting the U-Haul is somebody he put away for a RICO act.
Wow.
So this gentleman did 10 years. He sentenced him 10 years. He wound up doing 8.5 years. Right. Shout out to my man Walt. You know what I mean? He ain't got no problem me shouting him out. He's still in our community to this day, and we still support that gentleman. But Walt looked at Tim and was like, "You don't remember me?" And I'm gonna pause for a minute because I asked him. I said, "Was you scared, Tim? Was you nervous?" He said, "Says, I was. As being an ex-federal prosecutor, I put a lot of people away. So I had to question myself, and I was like, I don't think I recognize you." And Walt was like, "Yeah, you put me away for 10 years." And they had a real dynamic, stare down for that moment. And he asked me like, that happened. If it was one thing that could support you right now to get you back on your feet, what would that be? And Walt told him, "Man, just get my driver's license back." So the history of the Found Fund started was just helping formerly incarcerated individuals get their driver's license back, because at that particular time in 2017, it was hard for individuals to get their driver's license back. Shout out to DMV because I'm working with you now, but you guys, woo! At that particular time, because myself and a lot of other folks in Virginia had to get all the courts in line.
So the capital to pay the restitution.
Thousands, Max. Okay. Thousands. Okay. There was no payment plan back then. It was get all these courts in order and come to DMV with all of these payments already in full paid, or you've been in a payment plan for at least a year with them. That's a lot of money. In my particular case, I owed $3,800, $3,900. It was just under $4,000. And in my particular status, I was working at Jiffy Lube, bro. You know what I mean? Making $8 an hour. I ain't have it. So that's kind of was my introduction to the Found Fund. But like I said, a little bit before that, he started it just because he went back to UVA because he's a graduate of UVA, got with his UVA buddies, and they looked up the laws. And Virginia was not only holding people back, they was punishing individuals.
Right.
For your license.
Already served their time.
Man, listen, bro. Listen, we can talk about that in a minute. We call that second sentence.
Can't go to work, can't pay child support. Can't pay child support, go back to jail.
Max on it. So one of the laws before it changed was if you owe court costs or child support, they go take your privileges away. That's what they called it, privileges. Right. And one of the privileges was your passport and your driver's license. So they were suspending individuals' driver's license, passports, and taking it away before anybody even get released. Because as soon as you get sentenced for a drug offense, automatically 6 months suspended on your license. And in some cases, people never even had a license, Charles. So they get suspended on something they never even had, they never obtained before. So imagine them going for the first time getting their license, then it's already got a restricted on it. So this was what Virginia was doing for years. And I was one of those individuals. So go back to the Tim Heafy and Walt. So Tim went back to UVA and his buddy friends and started the Found Fund. And just to help individuals that's re-entering our society, help them with an easier process, getting all these courts in line and paying it one lump sum. And I was the first loan recipient. Sometimes I got to get myself a shout out. Man, because it was huge for me. And shout out to my mentor. We call him Deucey from the hood. You know what I mean? But Eddie Harris.
Yes, absolutely.
So was the dude at Putt-Putt the second?
No. He already got his stuff taken care of by that time. But he told him that was what helped him if he would have got released. Gotcha. That was one of the things that would have helped him stream along. Is getting like Walt is doing very well right now. I got a family and all. Yeah. But that's what we did. That's how everything started. And I was the first loan recipient. That first week we got 3 loans and I was the first one. So
that's a big time.
Working at Jiffy Lube, man, they wanted to give me $2 more. And I was like, all right, what y'all need from me? They were like, we need you to get your license, sis. So all things happen, as they should, I don't believe in no coincidences. Right. And that was my mentor to this day. Shout out to you. I know you listening. Eddie Harris is like, listen, take a healthy risk and go see this guy named Carl Brown over at the Found Fund.
Okay, another OG.
Yeah, another OG from the hood, from around the West, baby, coast. So he was like, you already know him, you know who he is, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what? Why not? You know, and I took that healthy risk, and I've been taking healthy risks for the last 7 years, and that's why I'm here today with you guys.
That's a blessing, man.
Taking those healthy risks, man. So shout out to Carl Brown, shout out to Ducey, Eddie Harris, man.
Love to hear it.
People's champ is what we call them.
Yeah, love to hear it. Like, so what are the other services that the Fountain Fund has grown to adapt now as well, but in addition to helping ex-felons get their license back?
Yeah, no
Not
doubt.
just that, like, how did that whole transition come about? You know, from just helping people to get their license to all of these other things that you all help them with as well.
So two great questions. So 7 years ago, literally, it's coming up in May, our anniversary. But yes, it started with just driver's license, helping individuals get their driver's license back. And I was a lot of clients at that particular time. And I was just one of the first. And I put it out there, I put it out there to the masses, 2017. Like, listen, if you like I got a record like I have, over 18 felonies, 11 misdemeanors. It was hard for me at that particular time to try to get all that together. So I said, it's a lot of men and women like me. Yeah. Please take this chance. I did it. I got my license, got a better paying job. I got my raise first, then got a better paying job. And the Found Fund supported me and helped me through that process. So a lot of things happened in my life at that particular time. I lost my moms, what I mean? My life was just like a lot of unmanageability. I was depressed. I was going through a lot. It was a hard time. But I'm not going to say the Found Fund supported me and helped me through that, but it was something that I held on to. Right. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, so I don't have a lot of family here. So the Found Fund really brought me in. Carl and the whole team brought me in as a family. So I took that and ran with it, because I needed something to cling on to at that particular time in my juncture, and I'm happy I did. I stayed true and I stayed, true to myself this whole time, and I think it worked out for me, Charles.
I think so.
Back to your question, Max. So yes, we started just doing driver's license, and I was the first loan recipient. But over the years, other laws changed. So the law changed. So it's like, what do we do now, Tez? Like, so I'm still a client partner this time. But we still have listening sessions, right, with our client partners. That's how we know the need, what's going on in our communities. We put on listening sessions and focus groups, try to get that qualitative data from our peoples, right, to let them know, like, listen, we're here to support you, but what does support looks like for our community? Right. Now that the license the law has been, wiped away, shout out to, our governor at that particular time, helping that out. And I did a testimony at the General Assembly just to help one of those laws get passed. And once it did, I felt like, wow, this nonprofit work is dope. It's cool, but changing laws? Yeah, bro. Yeah. So I got my beak wet a little bit, no Diddy. I got my beak wet a little bit. And then, that kind of just opened my eyes up to bigger things that I wanted to do in my life and with the Found Fund. And I was still a client partner, so I didn't really have that platform yet. I just had that voice, and a lot of us just didn't have voices then, period. But having being a client, the Found Fund provided that voice. So we had a group and we talked about that. And it was other things people needed, other than just driver's license back. So that's when we started doing vehicle loans and business loans. So now we got 3 different criteria of loan products we do at the Found Fund now. Okay. It's consumer loan, and that cap out at $5K. And a consumer loan could be anything, DMV fines and fees, restitution, court fines and fees, first month's rent deposit. Do you know how much it costs to move, Charles? Yeah. Oh yeah. That's just a whole nother issue in itself. Having folks have to pay almost $4,000 just to move in. Right. So now we saw that as a need. Right. And then we saw small engine repairs, because some people just can't get a vehicle loan, but they might have a vehicle they just need repairs and they just can't afford that. So we do whatever we need to meet people where they at. That's kind of what we got from these focus groups and talking to our client partners is like, so that's $5K. So that's consumer loan. Right. And we do stuff like certifications with that. People want trainings, or people go to classes, want to be peer support specialists or what have you. We don't dictate what the loan is. I'm just giving you some examples of what people came for that consumer loan. And then the next step up is our vehicle loans. Our vehicle loans cap out at $13K. But that's more of a higher impactful loan, Charles and Max. So certain things you need on your criteria. And one of them is you got to be working your job at least 6 months, right? The car can't be no more than 10 years old, which means that we're in 2024. So 2013, 14, because it's still early on. So the car can't be no more than 10 years old. less than 150,000 miles on the vehicle. And the beauty about it, we have 3 dealership partnerships here in our local area, man, that I'm happy to announce. We got Cars of Charlottesville. Shout out to you, Clay, on Ryle Road. We got Carter Mars Automotives, Felicia Schultz. That's our point person. Shout you out, Felicia. And then we have Ford Malloy. Brandon Scott, shout out to you, B. Brandon Scott, my man. So we got point people at all of these different locations that we have, because I never been to a dealership, Charles. So I wouldn't even know how to approach a dealership, right? So that's why it's important for us. You know, we call it warm handoff, that our people can still have that same touch once they leave to somebody else. You know what I mean? We want them to have that same respect and dignity that we're giving them throughout our community partners. So I met with all these individuals and I told them straight up, you know me, I'm gonna be like, listen, my folks ain't never been in no car, probably. They never been in no dealership. Don't try to bamboozle them. You know, talk to them, you know what I mean? Ask them questions, because they're gonna have questions to ask you. And I want you to treat them the same respect you treat me. And they understood that. And now we got a 3-year partnership with all 3 of these organizations, these dealerships, and it's been going great. So what we do is we buy the vehicle, Max, because I just shouted out those 3 dealerships, right?
So the Fountain Fund holds the title.
Yes, we do. Yes, and the extra key. But this is the thing that we learned. We know everybody need a vehicle, right? And we know people go to these dealerships, right? But a lot of these dealerships are predatory lenders. And they do it with a handshake and a smile. And they hit you with the back end of the interest that you don't even know about until you get your first payment. And they base that off your credit and your background and other things that are part of your credit building. You get what I'm saying? So they might have gave you the loan for the vehicle, but it might be 24 for you, Charles, 28 for you, Max. So it's different in how they do it, but they never tell you that straight up, right? So once we learned this, we say, okay, we know there's a need for this, so we're going to partner with you. But what we're not going to do is have our peoples go through your loan product, come through us. And then we pay it back. We buy the vehicle and then you pay us back. Talking about our client partners now, they pay us back at a 3% interest. We got the lowest in the country.
I feel you. So, so ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to none other than Fountain Fund National Director Martize Tolbert. Delighted to have him. And we're up against the hour. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to get right back.
Because I got more to talk about.
I know, man. We do. We're going to get right back with Tez, and we're going to dig deeper. We want to hear his inspirational story as well. And also, talk about the goals there at the Fountain Fund. So how it can more benefit you, our listeners, and your family and friends, that you may have that can benefit from it. So, stay tuned. IMHO Talk Show, Sir Charles Max Razor. We be right back with Fountain Fund's Martize Tolbert.
Ooh-wee.
IMHO Talk Show. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Back like we never left. Out to the ISM to the Izzo Talk Show. Tell your friends if they, local 101.3, any streaming app they desire. So you can hear these beautiful angelic voices on your Sunday afternoon, as you're doing what you do. And we are also right now, tuned in with our brother Martize Tolbert. So that's another reason why you want to be listening right now, because the good work that Tez has been doing with the Fountain Fund, building that up and helping our brothers and sisters is something awesome, and that we're glad that we can share with y'all. So so we left off at the at the end of the last segment talking to Tez about their offerings. And so you went through the loan program. So maybe Tez, just like name those ones that you named again, and then you said that there was one more, right?
Yeah. So we got the consumer loan. Thank you, Charles. Got a consumer loan that cap out at $5K. And we have the vehicle loans that cap out at $13K. And then last but not least is the entrepreneur loans. We do business loans as well, startup and existing businesses, and that cap out at $15K. So it's certain things we know that folks coming home these days, they don't want to just work at fast food, Jiffy Lube, construction no more. These gentlemen and ladies want to start their own business, right? And they behind that wall and thinking about it, writing it down, rapping about it, writing about it, praying over it, and really not knowing where to go when they get out, right? So that's what we do here at the Fountain Fund, is we help out with that population of folks, and try to make those dreams come alive.
Gotcha.
We lend in hope and opportunity, not just money, at the Fountain Fund. So when folks come to us and they got a business plan, or sometimes they don't even have a business plan, they just have a hell of an idea, right? And they got the gumptions and the temperament to go through it, right? So what we do is,
where it starts.
We can just develop you, we can help you and support you, but the main thing, we don't have the infrastructure to support business startups when they don't have nothing. So we have partnerships. So shout out to New Hill Development.
That's what you need.
Shout out to the Queen, Yolanda.
Yeah.
She was just at the office the other day, you know. So it's a beautiful thing. And CIC is one of our other strong partners, you know, Awana, Shannon, and all the folks over there. So these are the things that we do. So we know at the Found Fund, and we smart enough to know what we don't know, right?
Yeah.
So since we don't have that infrastructure, and we know it still is a population of folks that want this, we go through partners and community partners that we can flood them through there. And then when they graduate, boom, 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 refer them back to us. That's kind of that warm hand I was telling you earlier about.
So other than the auto loans, is this money in hand, cash in hand, check in hand, or are you all paying for, are you all paying whatever it is, the bill, the individual directly, and then so the money doesn't actually cross the hands of the person who's requesting the loan?
No. Okay. All money goes to the vendor. So if it's for DMV, it go to DMV. If it's for insurance, one of our partners is Able Insurance. Shout out to Billy White at Able Insurance. We cut the check to Able Insurance. All money goes to the vendor, Max. That's something that we started at the beginning with the Found Fund, and now we do that across all our expansion cities as well too. Gotcha. So everything get cuts to the vendor, and not only that, you know, just talk more about the loan products. We report to all 3 creditors now over the last 4 years. Since COVID happened, we understood what credit is and what credit building is, so folks. So now, just by you making payments back to the Found Fund, the first 3 months, your credit score is going to start to increase.
Man, look at that.
So that's another thing, the component that we're trying to do, and teach financial education and financial management on the front end, not the back end, because there's no sense teaching you that once you get the check. So we teach you that on the front end and what that looks like, right? With all different types of platforms that we support our folks in learning that, because that's not something that was taught to me in school or growing up. Was about finances or interest or literacy or money. You know, being from the streets, you know, I just knew about coming in and going out. That's all I really knew about money, you know, and I saw my mom's every month, you know what I mean? You know, stealing from Peter to pay Paul, you know, and that was something I was like, I'd never be, you know, one of myself in that situation, you know, that my mother saw her go through every day. So that those are the type of folks I want to support, because I saw what that did to my moms, you know what I mean? Every month. So.
I feel you there, man. You had something, Max?
Yeah, I was just going to ask about the eligibility process and who qualifies for one of these loans.
Yeah, so that changed when I got there 4 years ago. It was just felonies for some odd reason. They just had it just for felonies. So when I started as a staffer 4 years ago, I was like, nah, we got to change that because of my lived experience. It goes deeper than just having a felony. Once I realized a lot of women don't necessarily go to prison or jail, but they get charged. So I told them, I said, listen, we can't just say formerly incarcerated, because a lot of folks, a lot of female demographic don't go to jail because they got kids, they got jobs, they got whatever have you. They might get ankle monitor, they might get probation or whatever, but they don't actually go to jail or be incarcerated, Charles. So, Max, so it's when I got there, so now it's formerly incarcerated or have a record. You know, and then it doesn't matter if it's a misdemeanor or a felony, because that's all under the criminal justice umbrella. And that's one of the things I expanded once I got there, because like I said, we were just doing felonies. So now even traffic tickets, you know, you get a reckless driving, that's a misdemeanor. A lot of folks don't even know that they can come to the Found Fund because of that, but that actually is a charge on your record. You know, it's a misdemeanor charge. So anything from misdemeanors to felonies, that's what we do. You can even spend a night in jail and get released the next day, and you can still qualify for the Found Fund. So as long as we can track it and verify it, that's one of the criteria. And the next, and have the ability to pay the loan back. And that could be anything from a part-time job, full-time job, or fixed income. That population of folks, we definitely wanted to tackle individuals that's on fixed income as well too, because they still have goals and needs and things that they want to do as well too. So that's another population of folks. So we don't discriminate how nobody get their coins. We just got to verify it. You know, we got clients that work under the table, work for their uncle or their granddad or the neighborhood janitor or mechanic. Long as they can write that on the letterhead and state what they do and how much money they make. It's all different types of portals that we do and help our, like I said, we meet people where they at, Max, on some real talk. And on the last key piece is elevation. How is this loan going to elevate you in your current status? Right. So those are the 3 criteria. So what I mean by elevation, if it's for your driver's license, that's clear cut. That's elevation. That's freedom. That's mobility. That's independence. You know, if it's for first month's rent deposit, that's housing. That's elevation. So you get where I'm going. So that it has to have an elevation piece tied to it, because Our goal is to change somebody's lives every 2 weeks. And our LRC, which is our loan review committee, we meet every 2 weeks and we vote on these loans all across all expansion markets as well. So every 2 weeks when people get approved for a loan, we're changing lives.
On average, how many loans do you issue a month?
Ooh. So now that we expanded, when it was just us in our little bubble here in Charlottesville, we was doing like 10 a month. But now that we in all these other different markets, it can range from 15 to 20 a month. It just depending on what's going on at that particular time and current in our different markets. But these are the loans every 2 weeks that we have. And right now, I think we had over 500 loans to date and 2.4. I think the numbers just came in. $2.4 million already just been dispersed in loans over the last 7 years. And we already got 1.4 that already recouped back in. So it works. You get what I'm saying? Like it works.
And so is the office replicated in these other cities, you know, sort of the size office you have here? Are you replicating that, or what does it look like in other cities?
So we decided to go in partnership, Charles. So we're thinking about doing a replicate, you know, in brick and mortar down the line, but to go big and go fast. And like we did, we thought it'd be smarter and strategically to do it in partnerships. Okay. So when we go to a city, actually, when we get invited to a city, so that's another approach that we're going. We getting invited to cities now. We're not just going to somebody's city on their block. We're getting invited. And shout out to Green Light Fund. Green Light Fund is the one who's been supporting us the last 2 expansion cities, and they got over 15 other expansion cities that they want us in. So, and then what they do is they invite a nonprofit into their city that's not already in their city. So they go outside. It's a very unique, very unique type of funder. And they just happen to be, you know, meet another very unique type of nonprofit. So our synergy was there from the get go, because what they do is go scatter the country and look for what's not in their city and bring it back to their city. So they invited us to Philly. That's why we launched in Philly, and now Boston, which is their flagship. So that's a big, big honor to be invited to not only a city of theirs, but their flagship city. So I'm excited about them as a funder and a partner with us. You know what I mean? So that's kind of been our motto, is being invited in, and we do it in partnership. You know,
I have a question.
Have the wraparound holistic services in each partnership city that we in.
Gotcha. Razor.
What up, big dog? I've been waiting on you. I've been waiting to hear your voice. What's up?
Hey, you've been doing a great job, man. It's going excellent.
You're on my toes, baby.
Yeah, proud of all 3 of y'all, man. Hey, I do have a question, though. When people come to the Fountain Fund and they're looking to receive assistance, what is the work that the client partners need to be prepared to put in order to get the most benefit out of using the Fountain Fund?
Yeah, we don't do all the work for you. You know, that's the great question. If they're not ready, and a lot of folks are not ready for the Fountain Fund, Max and Charles, you know, we help a lot of folks. Like I just mentioned, every 2 weeks our LRC meets and we support a lot of folks. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna pause on your question just a minute, Troy, because I want them to understand, because you know this. When our clients get approved for a loan, they tell everybody, bro. They go back in their family, tell their family, their wife, their kids, their neighbors, their aunts, their grandmama. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we got a website. Our biggest advocates, our biggest supporter that bring people in is our clients.
Word of mouth.
Because that's what we're doing. And that's the effect that we're having. Like, it's electrifying when we get calls the next day thanking us, you know. And I don't know traditional banks. I don't know if they get those calls, but we get these calls after we support somebody getting the loan, right? So back to you, Troy. So you got to put as much sweat equity, as much work in this, as much as we're going to do, because we're supporting you and we're helping you through the whole application process, from the beginning, meeting with me, through our underwriters, you know, meeting with Paul and the team of the underwriters who's getting your story captured so they can be presented in front of the LRC, which is the loan review committee. It takes a lot of work and honesty. So a client partner got to be ready to go. And some are not ready to go. But this, back to Troy with your question, even when they're not Charles and Max, I develop them. So I have a development list, a part of the Fountain Fund. So when they're not ready, I help them get ready. And that's where the community holistic wraparound services come in at, and my community partners come in at, because they might have a job, but they only making so many hours, right? Or they might not even have a job at all, but they getting fixed income coming in, but they would like to work. So I have different partnerships that I can connect them with to get them fully ready to be referred, like I said, that warm handoff back to me, back to the Fountain Fund. So back to your question, Troy, you know, they got to be ready to do the work. They got to be ready to look at themselves in the mirror. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna look inside to see what your credit score is looking like, what your credit reporting is looking like. We're gonna do a criminal pull on you. So these are the things that goes into our application. So these are questions that you might not even been asked in a while, right? These are things you probably never seen before. You know, we do something called a budget and review, Max, when we look at how much money you make a month to how much money you spend a month. Because at the end of it, the breakdown of it, we don't touch your bill money. We go after the money that's left over. Banks don't do that.
Yeah. I feel like one of the misconceptions in the community is that I qualify for this loan if I've been in trouble. Like that's the qualifying thing. Well, shoot, let me go sign up then, because I didn't spend some time in jail or, been arrested or what have you. And I think that a lot of people oftentimes walk away disappointed when they find out that it's not just that, you guys, aren't maybe not doing what you say you're really doing, because I'm here, I've been in trouble, and you're telling me, no, I still don't qualify for it. And in true transparency, I have been in trouble before. Back when I was about 19 years old, I think my inspection sticker was dead, and I kept driving and got pulled over for it and got a ticket and went to court and didn't pay the ticket and kept driving and got pulled over for it and went to court and got in trouble and went back a total of 3 times. Don't ask. I was raised better than this and knew better than this, but went back a total of 3 times. Last time I went in, judge said, if you come back in front of me, I am sending you to jail, all over like a dead inspection sticker, car inspection sticker. I went back. And he gave me like 20 days. And I did several weekends in jail. And so, it was all bad, but, and taught me a lesson. But I say all that to say that a while back, because I knew the Fountain Fund gave loans for people that got in trouble and was upside down in something, I said, hey, I'm going to fill out this application and get this loan right quick and fix this little problem. And I did not qualify. And it threw me for a loop, because I didn't do my research and understand that there was more to it than just I've been in trouble, right? And I think that's a misconception in the community, and I'm glad that you're here and kind of clearing up that there's so much more that goes into it, because I'm sure y'all get some rah-rahs in the office who are like, "What you mean?" But they told me that if I've been to jail, I can get this money from you. So do you deal with that often?
No, not since I've been there.
Yeah.
Because
you don't deal with people who just think because I've been in trouble, I should qualify for this loan.
Well, yes, I deal with that a lot, actually. But we do a lot of that on the front end. So we clean that up on that front end. So I had those dynamic, transparent conversations with them over the phone. Because a lot of folks know me because I'm from this community, right? And I've been to penitentiary, right? And I worked here, right? And I play football here. So people know me from a lot of different, portals and platforms and whatever. So they call me or they hit me up on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. So we had these conversations first, because I don't want to lead nobody on down the line or even bring them through. Right. So, I let them know straight up if they qualify. What's up? What you need? What you got going on? This is what I got going on. Says, listen, I'm working, but I'm not working. I'm inconsistent, but I said, listen, let me help you get that. Because I'm all about getting to that yes. How can I get you to be qualified to even come in and meet with me? So that's what I come in at early. What I told you, Max, that development. I developed them to get them ready. I'm like, look, you're not ready for the Fountain Fund right now.
Are people inclined to go through that process? Or are they like, it ain't easy as I thought it was? Goodbye.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah? You have no idea. Listen, the calls, the inquiries, we just tallied up the inquiries that come through our webpage. I think we get close to 30 a week. Of inquiries coming in. And that's not even phone calls or walk-ins or people who just hitting us up on the emails. So everybody is trying to get this. I just got a letter from an institution in Kansas City. They heard about us out there. So it's all over. I get a lot of jail mail. I get a lot of prison mail. I get a lot of calls from family members who got folks that's about to get out and they reach out to me. So I don't know the circumstances when you went through that, but I don't know if I was in that front seat or not, but I have a different approach when I'm in that driver's seat, because I'm now the national director, but I'm also the local director. So I'm the one in the front seat of the Fountain Fund right now. So people call and meet with me and then I direct them to the services that we have if they don't fit the criteria after I talk with them. Right. And then they come back when they're ready or when they feel that they deem that they're ready. So I always put it on the client, to let me know when you're ready, but I'm gonna give it to you. but let me know when you're ready to come back in. So I deal with a lot of individuals that even if they get denied, because that did happen a few times, and they like, look, Tess, I got denied, but my cousin, you gave her a call.
Right.
I get that a lot, Max, and Charles, and Raisin. You know what I'm talking about. Because your cousin was ready. You wasn't.
Yeah.
And we told you some things to work on, and you might have did some things, but not everything we asked you to work on. So it's case by case with us. But that's why I wanted to get back into that driver's seat to show our community what it looks like, because not everybody thinks they know it until they talk to us, and they're like, I got a better sense of it now, Tez. I got a better understanding of it now, Tez. I didn't understand at first because all I saw was, she got a felony, she got a car. And she's telling everybody she got a car from the Fountain Fund. And I'm like, yeah, because she qualified.
Right.
Yeah.
She did the work that we asked her to do to get there. So these are the things that we have. Yeah. And the folks do get upset, but guess what, Max?
Yeah.
They come back.
Now, being a man of the community and wanting to help, how do you then direct those who the Fountain Fund can't help because of the qualifications? But like with that, what are some of your goals for the Fountain Fund to have a broader reach?
Yeah, so I'm gonna tap on the latter question. I want to expand deeper and more in our state. I think Northern Virginia, I think Tidewater, Hampton Roads, and the Lynchburg area, they need to have the same access to capital as Central Virginia, Central Charlottesville as well too. So that's my goal, and that's something that I'm currently working on right now as being the local director as well, is expanding our reach, because we go an hour in each direction. Okay, so we go let me just throw that out there. We go as far as west as Harrisonburg, Edinburgh. We go as far as north as Culpeper, Orange. We do Richmond. We even do Fredericksburg. So we hit a lot of different areas. And I live in Waynesboro now, so that's not an area that we go to. It's an area that we go to, but a lot of folks don't know about us over there, right? My whole thing this year is tapping into the Valley and bringing that in. And I'm doing my first reentry fair April 16th. In Waynesboro. So if you're from the Valley or the Waynesboro Stand area, please tap in with me. Check me out on Facebook, Maine to Madison, or IG, Maine to Madison. I'll give you all information. We're going to have a hiring exposition there. I'm going to be there. Augusta Health will be there. Network to Work will be there. We got a lot of different community partners from that Valley area that I'm trying to tap into that will be there. So I'm trying to expand the Fountain Fund footprint and catchment area to go more in-state, just because if I can get more client partners in the state, I can help out with changing those laws, like I was mentioning earlier, Max, because if we get more clients, we can really tap into the General Assembly here, and we can I'm meeting one of the delegates, the local delegate, Cree D, soon. He's coming to one of our events, so I'm looking forward to meeting him as well to talk about that.
Yeah, shout out to Cree.
So, Tez, if I get a loan, am I able to come back and get an additional loan, or is it just one loan and I'm done?
Oh, no. You can get. So I work at the Fountain Fund and I got 3 loans. So that's letting you know that we lock in with you. I tell folks when they come to see me is, listen, we ain't here for the long haul. We're not a one and done organization. Part of our application portal and process is to list your top 3 immediate goals. The first one going to be whatever it is you're coming for, the driver's license. And then the next one could be a house. You might want a house after that. And the next one could be a business. So once you come to the Fountain Fund and you get the payments paid back to us, you come back for that second loan.
Are people disciplined in terms of paying those loans back?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have individuals, as soon as they pay off their loan, they worried about, all right, I'm ready for the next step, Tez. Or where am I at on my payments? I get calls every week. Where am I at my payments? Give me my principal balance, Tez, because I got my taxes. I'm going to get y'all wipe y'all off, and I'm going to come back for that second loan. And that's what we're here to support you in that. And even if it is, and it's not just when you're doing good, because we know life is life.
Yeah.
We know life is life, right? And it's non-linear. So it goes up and it falls off. So they might be posturing and looking good when they come see us, right? But then 6 months later, they lose their job or their girlfriend kick them out.
Yeah.
But building that relationship with them on that front end, Charles and Max, they can call me like, Tez, man, I'm going through it, bro. This is what I'm dealing with. I ain't working. I don't even have a place to stay. I said, come in to see me tomorrow. Let's talk. And what I can do is I can pause your payments for up to 90 days. So it won't affect your credit score. And I could tap in with any type of housing portals that I do have, as far as the Salvation Army, as far as the Haven, as far as Patcham, or I got private landlords that I can possibly put you in touch with. So these are the different things and portals that come in. As I see the need of folks coming to see me, I'm trying to go out there and find the support for these folks. So that's kind of what I do because of my lived experience. I know what they're dealing with, and I know what they're under, the pressure that it is to be the head of the household and don't even know what the next meal gonna come from, or what I'm gonna look like living the next month when I got to deal with day-to-day stuff. I've been there. My mom's has been there. My friends have been there. Like I told you, I'm really attached to this community, so they tap in with me. Like Tez, you seen what just happened to my baby daddy? He just got locked up on the news. I'm like, I already know. Let me know what the kids need. I got you. Like I get these calls daily.
Hey, speaking of the community,
it's just because that's how connected we are to our community, man. The Fountain Fund is yes, sir.
Speaking of the community, I was at the Jefferson one day, and they had something called the One Stop Shop. What is that?
Ooh, Charles, we got time.
So Ray, we're gonna take a quick break,
boy,
and then we're gonna jump, right into that because we want to talk about that motto.
Yeah,
that community work is the best work,
and we out here working.
We want to talk about that, but also the inspiration of your personal story too.
No doubt.
I think and I think people will understand the importance of the community. But Max, are you good with the break, or you want to wrap up with this?
No, I'm good.
You good?
Take a break.
All right. So yeah, we'll be right back. Sir Charles, Miss Max, Razor, IMHO, and none other than Fountain Fund National Director, Mr. Martize Tolbert.
Let's go.
Back. IMHO Talk Show. IMHO Talk Show. Sir Charles, Miss Max, Razor. One more again in the booth in the building with National Director at the Fountain Fund, Martize Tolbert. As you've been hearing, the brothers doing big work, amazing things. So as Razor teased, and we're gonna get right into it. People who know Tez or Maine to Madison, or however you may know the homie, there's a motto that he has that he pretty much hashtags with everything. Community work is the best work. Did I get that right?
Community work is the best work, and we out here working.
Community work is the best work.
Yeah.
So Razor mentioned the pop-up shops that has happened. I'm sure people have seen those, even if they may not have been able to patron them. So talk about that, but not just that, but the importance of community in general, because the work that the Fountain Fund does through things such as a pop-up shop that goes outside of the direct demographic and target audience of Fountain Fund loans. So talk about the community work side beyond the Fountain Fund offices.
So no doubt, it's huge for me. It's passion driven. It's passion work, and that's what I love to do. That's why it's community work is the best work, because this is what I went through. This is what, my God and my higher power built me, to go through, to be on this other side, So I always tell folks it's not about me no more. It's about we. It's about me pulling my brothers and sisters up, and being that face. If I got to be the one that's going to step out there, oh, well, let's do it. Right. So when I got into the Fountain Fund as a staff, I came in as a client partner, but 3 years later, I became a staff client partner navigator. And then 2020 COVID hit literally a month after I got hired. So I had the time to try to figure out, my approach and what I wanted to bring and my energies and passions and what I saw my folks hurting. And I thought about all these different ideas that I wanted to bring to the Fountain Fund. And with COVID happening, it kind of gave me that bandwidth, you know what I'm saying? Charles kind of gave me that autonomy to go out there and do it. And my staff and my team at the particular time, shout out to Erica Vasilio and Paul Yates, they was like, look, Tez, we brought you on because of this. Your lived experiences, we don't have that. I'm in banking for 30 years. Erica's been a nonprofit for 25 years. We don't have the person with lived experience until now, to you. So we're kind of banking on your, your intellectual property to give us what we need to move forward. So that's what I brought in, and COVID gave me that space. So that's when I brought in, my community work is the best work model. And I wanted to try to help folks the best I could, with the opportunity the Fountain Fund gave me. So after we did the Wall Street Journal story, shout out to you, Troy, me and Troy, after we did the Wall Street Journal, my first year there, it gave me more opportunities to do more. And that's one I talked about earlier, the deferrals. We can defer your loan. If you're not in good standing, we can get you back in compliance by a deferral program. These are some of the things that we brought in to support our client partners because we wanted them to continue building their credit. But we understand life happens. So if something happens to them, as long as they communicate with me, communicate with us, we can get them back on their feet. We call it Build Back Better, to support them in that, right? So these are some of the things that we brought on during COVID. But then we realized after COVID, then what, So these are some of the things we asked our clients, like in these focus groups, listening sessions, what is the need? And they like, look, Tez, it's a lot of conversations. There's a lot of things out there that y'all just don't know that's happening. I'm like, all right, let me know. And that's when I heard about child support. And on both ends, men and women, what they're dealing with, right? So we did a listening session with shout out to ex-delegate Sally Husson. We did a huge forum, and Razor, you was there, a huge forum with that to try to help and change some of the laws that was coming around about that, right? So that's when we got to the policy changing and started working with community voices out of Richmond and TCI, the Commonwealth Institute, to help uplift our client partners' voices. So now they can go to the General Assembly and testify and give their lived experience and testimony to help shape and change some of these laws so they won't be so impactful for the next generation coming behind them. So this is stuff that all happens as the Founding Fund was growing and going, and it's still growing and going. So one of the ideas that I always had in my mind was I first called it the resource hub. Like, why is it not a centralized location for folks to just go to other than probation and parole? Like, why I got to go to see my PO if I want to ask or access any other type of services, right? That was the only option that folks had, right? So in my mind, I wanted to create something for everybody that's been a reentry, not just coming home, but the folks that's already been home, kind of like you, Max, that's somebody that's already been out here can still get access to certain type of other services that just don't even know that they exist because let's just be honest, COVID kind of, siloed us, right? And kind of displaced us a little bit. So with the one stop came to my mind, and I'm on a board of the ACRJ, right? I'm on a steering committee. So one of their ideas was like, look, Tess, because of your lived experience, let us know how we gonna help this influx of folks getting out. So I just said, why not a one stop? They were like, what is that? I was like, a one stop shop where everybody can come at one place to get all the services at one time. They were like, what does that look like? I said, well, sit back, strap in, and I can tell you. And so that's where the whole creation started. And in July this year, it'll be 2 years up and running. That's dope. So just imagine, guys, if you got friends and family that's getting released to your community, right? You want to support them, right? You want to give them everything they need to be supported and what that looks like. But they still got to deal with this and that and go here and go there, go see your PO, go see OAR, go here. But what if you live in a rural area like Fluvanna or Louisa, when you don't have a car, you don't have a license, you don't have the support with transportation. So how are you supposed to get to these places? So that's where the one stop came in. So the one stop is a centralized location where all of these services in one building at one time. It's kind of like
as services, like specifically.
So I call it like the mall of reentry, Max. So everybody been on mall, right? You got Foot Locker, Foot Action, you got JCPenney's. So why not having the same thing for reentry? So when folks come to my one stop, I got a registration table, my action team sitting there. I got an intern now. I got a website. Shout out, shameless plug. Shout out to our website, onestopcville.org. Check us out. And we got a Facebook page, One Stop Facebook Cville. So check us out on that. But just imagine you come into this one area with everything there. I have DMV. I have Common Ground. I have Region 10. I have OAR. I had Network to Work. I have PVCC. I have UVA decarceration department. So individuals trying to get their rights back or rights restored, I got free lawyers on deck because they're students in their third year and this is what they do and this is what they need. So I'm leveraging UVA partnership that I have with them is to bring in some of your students that need that experience anyway and partner with some of our folks who need this advice anyway. So let's make that synergy and let's make that connection. So that's one of the things that I brought in. So now I have them. I have Martha Jefferson Centera, right? I have UVA pipelines and pathways. So when folks looking to get a job, right? A career-based job, not just an old basic job, they can come through Pipeline to Pathways. Shout out to Holly Lee. Shout out to everybody over there in UVA Pipeline to Pathways, where they can come in and get a job with Pipeline and have a trajectory to go up in advancements. Because a lot of people that work at UVA know it's certain ceilings that you reach at UVA. So with UVA pipelines, it's not only opening up a pipeline in, but a pathway up. So I partnered with them folks to come in, and we got common ground there. So if individuals need a massage, acupuncture. I had the elderly lady come to the last one stop because she's dealing with rheumatoid. Don't get me to mess up this word. Rheumatoid arthritis. And she came in just to get some acupuncture done and some massages done. So we do this for that wellness and that healing coalition. And we do it as a vibe, Charles and Max. Matter of fact, y'all gotta pull up on me, man. Because I got my man DJ Runaway. Shout out to Nicholas Vegas at the Boys and Girls Club. I got DJ Runaway as my DJ. He's been there almost 2 years with me because I wanted to be a vibe. So we got him playing old school music from back in the day. So you get to come through, get your bop on. You know what I mean? And we got a caterers. I always support my black and brown caterers. So we didn't have people from Blackjacks. We done had Chef Brown. We done had my man D Grand and Courtney Moppin. Excuse me. So we got a lot of different caterers that we use every one stop. We got them in rotation. So we support our folks and we support our community by putting on. So it's really a vibe, man. So we really a welcoming vibe with all these different services. I mean, I got SNAP benefits. I got the city there. I got the county of human services there. I got everybody there, bro. You know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing. And people always ask me, Tez, how in the hell did you get all these services in one room, one building, and they're here on time? I said, because I treat people like people. I just asked and they came.
And not just that, your lived experiences is the academics, the school of life is what helps to inform those decisions. You know what people need because you've been in their situation before.
Absolutely. Can't never discredit those things that we all went through, right? All of us got something to pay back and give back because of what they've been through. My mentor teach me that, Lorenzo Collins. He said, Ted, you got to grow through what you go through. Man, I had to scratch my head. I said, say that again, bro. Say it slow. He said, you got to grow through what you go through. Because everybody going to go through stuff. But if you're not growing and learning, you're going to do it again. You're going to do it again.
That's fact.
And you're going to do it again. So once he instilled that in me, I learned how to show up every day like an audition, right? Because I got to learn from my past mistakes so I won't be able to do that again. And I can help somebody else not navigate those same roads I did. So that's kind of why I created the one stop so I can show folks by showing folks. This is how we putting on for us, man. And I do that with the Found Fund. I do that with all my ACRJ folks and my subcommittee folks. Shout out to Gary from over the OAR. Shout out to Region 10. Shout out to everybody that's been a part of the One Stop since the beginning. And we're just growing and going at this point, Max and Charles.
How often do you hold the One Stops?
So there was monthly, now they're bi-monthly.
Okay.
So the next one, we're doing it big at the John Paul Jones. We're partnering up with UVA and UVA Equity Center. In the daytime, they're going to have it for the seniors. So the seniors about to graduate, seniors of high school. And in the afternoon from 1 to 4, they're going to open it up for the community. So we're going to have a lot of different service providers at John Paul Jones. Check us out. Shout us out again. Holly Lee. Yeah, man. Like UVA, let's go. You know what I mean? Big staple in our community. They got the money, and let's just be real. We hold them accountable because as we should. So now they're part of the team and they're at the table as well. So we got the One Stop for Senior Citizens coming up as well too in April. There's just a lot of things, great things happening in the month of April. So shout out to April 23rd from 10 to 1. If you got high school seniors that's looking for employment, looking for the next step, what they're trying to graduate and see what college ain't for everybody, Max and Charles. That's facts. So they might want to get into other different things. So all of these, and right now I think it's 30 to 40 some service providers already signed up. So that's a lot already at John Paul Jones. And then we have community service providers that's going to show up in the afternoon. So it's going to be a big, huge community day. So please pull up April 23rd, John Paul Jones, man, 10 to 1 for the seniors, high school seniors, and 1 to 4 for community members. Let's pull up.
I got a question for you.
Fly with us.
No doubt. Yeah. I will. No doubt.
I got a question for you. I know your work that you do when it comes to recidivism. What is the work that you're doing with the Tom Festival?
Ooh, man, April is huge. So I'm not going to sleep in April. I got 3 events I'm already locked in for, plus 2 more that's pending. But each year, the Tom Festival put on the downtown mall for 5 days from the 17th this year, from the 17th to the 21st. And 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, Paul Byers, the founder of TomTom, reached out to me. He wanted to have a conversation with me about diversifying, the TomTom. And I told him I was a little reluctant at first. Like, look, bro, I don't know too much about it. And then when I did go back in 2018, it wasn't a good experience for me. So I don't really, he's like, listen, that's what I'm trying to change, Tez. If you give me the opportunity to meet with you, let's meet. I said, all right, meet me at a black restaurant. He's like, which one? I said, see, how many do you know? So I told him, meet me at Matchbox right there on Stonefield. Right. And we did. We sat there for, it's supposed to been a 30-minute meeting. Why not meeting with that man for over 2.5 hours? I mean, it was a lot of conversation we had, and I held him accountable. He asked me some questions. It was a pull and take type of conversation. But at the end of that, and we had multiple conversations after that. I signed up to be a part of the Tom Advisory Committee just to help them diversify. So that's kind of where the creation of the Block Party came in. So that's kind of what we do with the Tom Festival. I'm one of the spearheads of the Block Party, and now I got DJ Flatline. Shout out to you, Reggie, and I got DJ W, my man Devin. So they helped me out with bringing in the artists. Streamlining the sounds. All the different other vendors that we're gonna have this year. This year is gonna be big and huge, Raise. I'm glad you brought it up. Shout out to the Tom. Shout out to the city this year, because they're giving us the whole mall this year. Usually it was from the Omni until 4th Street. Now we got the Omni all the way to the Pavilion. Really? And we're going to kick off Friday after 5, starting doing the Tom. So we're trying to integrate our community now, because the first couple of years it was a lot of people in the downtown mall kind of scaring the hell out the police for us, because they never seen that many people. Our first one, I think we had over $12,000 foot traffic on the downtown mall with only a handful of officers. So they was really cautious about that. Then last year we did it. We had 22,000 footprint. So they realized, like, wow, this really changing the game of what this can look like in our area. And it's so diversified. I don't know if you guys been to the one last year, but you had Black, brown, Chinese, Mexicans. I mean, you had every nationality. Hell, there was a wedding at the Omni. They left their wedding and walked through the downtown Block Party and party with us. It's all on foot. Hey, look, so that's if you in Charlottesville, or if you're not in Charlottesville, come to Charlottesville April 17th to the 21st. But the Block Party, downtown Block Party, will be facilitated by me and a couple other guys that I just mentioned, Reggie and Devin, April 19th from 5 to 10. And that's nothing they did, Max. They gave us an extra hour. So the city is really showing up this year. They're giving us the whole mall, and they gave us an extra hour, to entertain and to really give back to the community. And we got the D&D dance team, Empire, man. We got some local artists. Can't tell you all of them. We got some local artists and local talent. And this year we reached out to Richmond. So we even got some artists and some vendors coming down from Richmond. So we open it up a little bit wider, and on 2nd Street, we're doing something new this year we never done. We're going to have vendors set up on east side of 2nd Street now, on Black vendors as well, BIPOC vendors. So we got a lot of different folks. Shout them out. Shout out Order Up. So he'll be out there as well too. So just want to throw that out there. So we got some things bubbling and going this year, man. Time. It's going to be dope, man. It's going to be, we just putting on, and each year just trying to get better for our community. And that's some of the things I told Paul Byer, the founder, is like, look, it's not just folks who just come in and they showcase their talents and then you don't support them throughout the year. You got to support folks all year. And that's something that he signed up for when I came being a part of the Tom. And now being a board member of Tom, I hold him accountable. I don't know if you noticed the name. It's not, the Thomas Jefferson theme anymore. It's Tomorrow's Tomorrow. So I asked, that was one of the things that I requested. I was like, we got to change that name. I know your birthday and Thomas Jefferson's birthday was like a day or two apart, and that might have been a good idea at that particular time, but there's a lot of history and a lot of pain and a lot of trauma that's associated with that. So that's why you really get a lot of folks that look like me attending your festival, so if you really want to diversify, it's some of the things I'm going to ask for, and that was one of the things. And he changed it to Tomorrow's Tomorrow. And I don't know if you noticed, it's more inclusive now with the Tom. Now we support everything that's in our city, up and out, not bringing everything out to in, because that's what he was doing before, was bringing a lot of outside folks, speakers, Hillary Clinton, all these big name people all over the world was coming to Charlottesville and then taking our resources and leaving. So that model changed now. So it's all about now inclusive and togetherness. So that's the theme this year.
Got you. We are joined by Martize Tolbert. Learning so much, man. I mean, no wonder you ain't been up here yet, because you got too much going on.
I'm working, baby. I'm out here. Let's do it.
But that just makes us feel that much more important. But man, like, even though the show is winding down, man,
I'm going to come back. You can bring me back.
For sure. And you know how to reach all three of us. So you just hit us up, let us know. But we would be so remiss if we didn't give even more inspiration. Because I get that you have, set up an institution that's meant to help so many. But I can just imagine that if you can prevent people from ever needing that help, that may do your heart even better, right?
Yeah.
So if you wouldn't mind, share the story that led you up to even needing the services from a fountain fund. And just like what you've learned, like you said, like that lived experience, that you're drawing from every day now.
Ooh, you're really getting deep now. So it's a lot to that story. And the people that know. But I'll give folks a little bit of my my lived experience coming to Charlottesville from Detroit, Michigan. I came in the mid 90s, early 90s, you know, loved the city, loved the people. Grew up right here on A12C Hardy Drive. Shout out to the coast. That's how I know Eddie Harris and Carl Brown and individuals like that. You know, these are the people that I saw every day, you know. So, you know, brought some of my antics with me from Detroit, you know, and earned myself 6 years. First time ever getting in trouble. The judge looked in my face, and, you know, as a 19-year-old, and he basically chastised me and told me, "You're not from here. You standing in my courtroom with two lawyers. I don't know who you are, but you're not going to sell drugs in my community." And gave me a mandatory sentence of 5 years and gave me an additional extra year because of my drug offense. So never been in trouble a day in my life. Never had a misdemeanor before then and earned myself 6 years. So instead of me going to college or trade school or everything else that I was slated to do, because I had paperwork and everything, trying to go to Eastern Michigan State and everything, he saw all of that and decided to punish me instead of heal me and earn myself 6 years. So that started my trajectory of a lot, brother. You know what I mean? Because something that I earned myself here in Virginia would have been a slap on the wrist in Detroit. Being a first-time offender, you know what I mean? Or even been into a diversion program. None of that was offered to me, you know, and I had lawyers and everything, bro. But he didn't look at me as that, you know, so I come from that, bro. I come from that pain that a lot of my peoples went through standing in front of that courtroom. Even with representation, I still was looked down upon, you know, and judged off some things that, like I said, it was a mistake. And I'm still paying for that mistake today, you know, so that what led me to my lived experiences and my, you know, going down the road. Instead of going to college or getting some type of other education, I got that street education and I got that other knowledge. You get what I'm saying? So it was hard. It wasn't an easy road, you know, being away from my family and friends and loved ones for 6 years, bro, and never been incarcerated a day in my life before. No juvenile, none of that. So it was a lot, you know, and I still read that pain to this day. But that pain now is my shield. Yeah. And now I could be able to protect myself by protecting others and let them know that I'm here with you, you know, establishing that mutuality and that respect and let them know, like, listen, you did that, right? But that's not defining who you are today. That's something you did in your past. You know, that's not who you are today. So that's what I'm all about. Redemption, building back better, and supporting folks that's ready to be supported. And I can go a little bit deeper into everything else that happened in my life, man. But me losing my mom's was my rock bottom. So that was my change, Charles. So how did I transition from that to this? It was because I lost my first love. Right. You know, I lost my architect. You know, I lost my heart. I lost everything. You know, when I lost my mother unexpectedly, and it's still hard to this day to even talk about. You know that I'm a mama's boy, true and true. You know, she taught me everything. You know, she was my lawyer, my doctor. Right. You know, she was everything. In the Black community, you don't have all those different, you know, privileges like a lawyer and a doctor and that. So my mother was all that to me, right? Yeah. So to lose her was losing everything, and she saw the world in me growing up. Yeah. Her and my grandmother raised me, so they always saw greatness in me. I mean, greatness, you know, he gonna be this, he gonna be that. I mean, I'm looking like, what? Like, I'm in Detroit, I'm poor. I'm like, nope, boy, you gonna be this. You know, don't ever look down on yourself. Like, that's how I come from that stock. You get what I'm saying? So
speaking in existence.
When she passed, I put all those childish games away. Yeah. And that's when I started working at Jiffy Lube. Like, I'd rather bust my butt for $8 an hour than looking over my shoulder every night trying to sell some drugs, bro. And that was my transition. My mother was my transition from doing what I need to do. And I think I told you earlier, I think I did all right. Yeah. I think I did. I think I made a great choice. All right. So now I want to help navigate other folks because they don't know. They don't always see that light. Even when they switch over, that's a hard switch over. Yeah. When you've been doing something for so long, you know, it's hard to make that change and make it consistent change. Right. So that's what I develop people and I mentor folks and I coach them now. So with my certifications and me going to UVA and graduating UVA and going back to PVCC, getting all these different certifications, motivation interviewing, peer support specialist, rap facilitations. I got a slew of these certifications now that I could be able to support folks in a major, major way like I needed to support when I was going through what I was going through. Right. So that's kind of another thing about me building my back better, but also now to keep what I have, I got to give it away. and I got to give it away every day just so I can keep it and it resonate with me. So that's kind of a little bit about my why, you know, and plus I got a brother, man, Kitse, shout out to K9, you know, who's doing 28 years right now. And he been down 14. So these are my passions. These are my whys. This is why I wake up every day. My mom's, my grandmother, my brother, my hood, my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Sisters and brothers are still going through the same pain and traumas when they getting released. You know, they still got barriers and barriers that they got to face all across this great nation, right? Because the system ain't broken. It's doing design exactly what it's supposed to be doing, bro. So I'm here to combat that. You know what I mean? I'm here to disrupt that, right? And I'm doing it in a major way, but I could do it better and more impact with more of us. So that's why it's a team of us now. It ain't about me no more. It's about the whole squad, man. So we bringing up our brothers and sisters so it could be an army of us.
I feel you.
I told you I could talk, man. I could talk forever, baby.
Appreciate you. Love it.
Shout out to you, Razor. I know you listening, brother. I know you smiling over there.
Yeah, I'm over here. I'm proud of you, man.
I love you, bro. You already know what it is.
Salute.
Love you back, man.
I remember I used to go to his barbershop in Greene County and complain to him about everything.
Every single thing.
Now look at us, man. Great things, man.
Don't even get me started on Razor not cutting my hair anymore. Miss Max, please take us off. Please take us off.
I mean, honestly, I think this is like a y'all moment. Charles, feel free to close however you see fit.
Oh man, like I just want to dap up the brother because it's all love. It's all love. Like whenever I see him, I love when the brothers have that community, man. Like something he said multiple times was like bringing the community together and the partnering. The partnering is so important because I think we sort of shoot ourselves in the foot so many times when we try to create these silos. And we know where it comes from. Like some of us are raised not to trust or to have like a disdain for each other. And for us to have brothers like yourself that's trying to change that narrative is of the ultimate importance.
Collaboration is key, man.
Yes,
like
indeed.
I don't have to like you to work with you.
Yes, indeed.
I don't. You know what I mean? As long as we got a common goal and a common interest, let's make it to the finish line together.
That's right.
That's what I'm about, man.
That's right. And that's how we grow. That's how we become empowered, by empowering each other.
That's a fact.
Loving it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great show, and I hope you concur. We've had a great discussion. Sir Charles Max Razor, joined by none other than former police chief Dr. Rochelle Brackney, and we closed out second half with none other than Fountain Fund National Director Martize Tolbert. So much to pull for, Miss Max Razor. I would say y'all got to follow up. This is a show that you want to go back and repeat. You want to share it because y'all know how to find us YouTube and IMHO Talk Show on all social media. This one of the ones where you gonna have to rewind Tez and be like, what did he say right there? I need to hear that again.
Yeah, I talk fast. You got to listen slow.
No. But you were dropping gems though.
Yeah,
dropping gems. So thank you once again. Thank all our listeners, everybody that's stuck through yet another IMHO Talk Show.
Yes.
And remember, tell a friend, and we will catch y'all next time. Be blessed.
Fountainfund.org.
That's right.
Catch me out, fountainfund.org. Catch me out at M. Tolbert at fountainfund.org. One Stop Shop, Cville.org. Maine to Madison on IG, Maine to Madison on Facebook. Let me.
Take care, y'all.